102. 102.
Let's
baby.
go.
Let's go,
Let's
dude.
go, dude.
Guys, if this is your first time joining us, first of all, thank you. We are thrilled to have you here with us. We've actually got 5 main formats of our show. So first, we have Forging Fortitude episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the mental side of our brand, okay? We go over our anecdotal experience with mindset and mentality, and we pass on tips and advice to you guys to then apply to your own lives. Next, we have Physical Vitality episodes. Now, in these episodes, we cover the physical side of our brand. So you've got 2 certified personal trainers here. So in these episodes, we really get to showcase our expertise. We cover everything to do with fitness, diet, nutrition, the gym, workouts, workout programs, and fitness programs like 75 Hard. Sometimes we will even take trending articles or topics within the fitness industry and go over them with you guys and give our thoughts and opinions on those.
Damn right. And keep in mind, guys, on those episodes, if you ever want to go back, those are like the cache of information type episodes we have. Those are a lot of fun to go back into, dive into. They'll be labeled Physical Vitality, or you can just tell from the title.
Yes.
For that matter.
A lot of free game, and something I forgot to mention, we also cover a lot of supplementation as
We do,
well.
and we know a lot of people like that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, so speaking of trending topics, that goes into our third format. That is our breaking news format. That is when we bring articles your way that might be going on in today's world. The Israel-Hamas situation is a good example of current events we might talk about during those breaking news episodes. Now, we're not doom and gloom the entire time. We call out the BS and why the situations are a little bit rough. Yeah, they are. But we also give solutions during those episodes of how we can turn the tide, so to speak.
Yes.
Fourth format, guys, is our masculinity-based format. That is a Knights Table. That's the name of those. Knights Table format. Those we discuss how to be basically a masculine man, but we are bringing you on the journey to do that.
Right.
I'm 25, Wurtz is 25. Mitch, when he's with us as producer, is 23. So we're not some perfect dude, coming to you and from some high horse in some way. The only perfect man ever that would be able to come from a high horse is Jesus Christ. So because of that reason, we are turning the tide back to real masculinity and not calling it toxic masculinity, so to speak.
And the importance of it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now, the 5th format is our guest format. That is what our episode 100 was with Mr. Jeff Lavecchio, one of our favorite all-time episodes, if not our favorite all-time episode. So if you haven't listened to that, dive back into that one. Now, that is when we sit down with somebody that might be an entrepreneur, fitness professional, somebody that brings you value in some sort of way, could have an awesome story like Mr. Connor Goodrich and JT Thomas. Now, those we end up learning a lot in.
Yes.
You're also going to learn a lot in. Somehow we learn something new about the person we sit down with, even if we're good friends with them. It doesn't matter. It happens every time. Now, usually, I introduce our producer here, but he is caught up with some work right now. So it is just us two. I know you guys don't get to see Money Mitch today. We apologize. But how you doing, bro?
Well, we purposely kept him off this episode. We were like, you know what? The best-looking guy in the room's had a little too much camera time.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick him out for this one.
Right, yeah. And he put some derogatory memes over our, comments and whatnot. So we're rethinking his contract, right?
Yes. So bad that Mitch did that. Yeah.
I hated those. I didn't laugh at those memes at all.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit.
Right.
I wanted to say something too. Guys, we are actually running with 3 cameras right now.
Oh, yeah.
So we are basically going to bring you individual angles of ourselves now.
Yeah.
That is the next step coming for the Untapped podcast. Bear with us as we kind of get the editing down with that. It's going to be a little bit of a step for us, especially those that watch on YouTube. We're working with it, and honestly, we're going to get better and better at it, and you're going to see that progress, which is really cool.
Well, and it's mostly for you guys that watch on YouTube. This way you get kind of more personal angles with each one of us, along with the wide angle and whatnot, and the camera that goes on Mitch. It's just I think it's another way to kind of elevate our podcast here and what we're trying to do.
Exactly what
create
it is.
that personability, because it's important.
It is, dude.
There's a lot of you that have never met us in person, so you have no idea who we are, and I don't know, we feel that having individual cameras and being closer and whatnot, it just allows you to kind of hear and feel our words a little bit more,
Yeah, it adds an aspect to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And we feel that when we watch podcasts on YouTube for that
absolutely.
matter. Yeah.
Yes.
You feel like you're more with the...
You're sitting in the room with them,
the speakers, yes,
with
100%.
whoever it is.
Yeah,
right.
definitely, dude. And this is exciting for us because then we get to learn different skills that come along with this as well. So,
and I'm an expert editor, so...
I mean, you should actually teach a course on
but
Wurtz is totally serious, guys. Don't listen to the just kidding part. He's serious about that. But Adobe Premiere Pro, Wurtz is very good with, and this is something that's a skill I'm lacking in. And so this will teach me to get better at it as well. And it's kind of exciting actually,
Yeah.
because really what I found with starting a business is that we're just learning new skills
Absolutely.
all the
dude.
time, and
Yeah.
that I didn't know I had to learn a
You
lot
think,
of times.
You think you know things, and then new things pop up, and you're like, well, either we can somehow find funds to pay someone to do this, or we can just learn the skill ourselves, and for the time being, we can handle it. So
Exactly.
on that note, guys, if you haven't gone and watched our newest vlog
Mm.
at Matt Vincent's Gym, dope, go check that out on YouTube. Probably my favorite vlog
Yeah.
that
It was
that we've
sweet.
done, that I've put
Yeah.
together and whatnot. Like it, I don't know. It's just a sweet place. We had Matt Castillo with us as well, so shout out to him. He was doing some filming and taking pictures and stuff for us that day. But if you guys have not gone and checked that out, that would have come out Wednesday the 22nd, so last week, the day before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
But definitely go and check that one out, guys. Very, very cool gym. Both Matts were very, very thankful for you guys. And Matt Vincent, thank you for letting us kind of raid your gym to show it off. And he is actually in it, so you do get to meet Matt Vincent. He does have fake weights in the gym. It is confirmed.
It is confirmed.
He said it himself. So that's all we need.
That's
Yep.
all we need.
That's all we need.
Personal
Just cut it
confirmation
there.
from him. So it's
Exactly.
like, okay, dude, like at least like, give us the blueprint here, I guess.
Right,
Because
right.
we felt really strong during the workout, and it was like that's not
like,
normal. Usually we're weak.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it doesn't add up like that usually.
We do have a Forging Fortitude for you guys today.
We do.
Little Thanksgiving special here a few days after Thanksgiving. We are recording this the day before Thanksgiving, but you guys are hearing it a few days after. The Gables are heading out to North Carolina
Mm-hmm.
to see our buddy Sam, who was also on the podcast
Yes.
a long
Yep.
time ago.
Episode 23 originally.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah. Episode 23
It's like
originally. Yeah.
79 episodes ago, which is wild.
I'm nice with it.
Yeah.
The memory's sick.
You
know?
like that quick math I just did too?
Quick maths. This man's dialed. Dude,
Yes.
I'm excited for Charlotte. And we'll update on the next podcast how that trip went and whatnot.
100%.
And,
Yeah.
we'll probably update while I'm there as well, for that matter. Those of you
Right.
that don't follow us on Instagram and all that stuff. So,
Well, if you don't
yeah.
follow us on Instagram, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, you shouldn't even be
At
listening.
untapped.llp.
Yeah,
It's pretty simple.
obvious account to
Yeah,
follow.
obvious.
Yeah, but whatever.
Probably
but
the best follow you'll have.
Honestly, yeah, no doubt. We have a little confidence in ourselves. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
Oh,
Come on,
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
But guys, we wanted to kind of touch on something here with it being the season of not only the holidays, but Thanksgiving specifically. It's kind of the season of being thankful, and something we talk a lot about, but we've never done an individual episode on it, is gratitude, and expressing it and realizing the things you have in your life, being thankful for the things you have in your life, because although all of us are in different spots in our lives, we all have things to express gratitude for, things to be thankful for, people to be thankful for, and just it's important to kind of take a step back and breathe, which we've actually done an episode on, but step back and breathe and just kind of look around at your life. You
Yeah.
know, do you have a job? Okay, maybe you hate the job, but you've got one. There are a lot of people, at least there used to be a lot of people that wanted jobs. Now, not so much. But but anyway, you have a job. Maybe you have a roof over your head. You might have great people in your life. You have things to be thankful for, and I think a lot of people try to blow those things off like, oh, my life sucks, It's like, okay, well, yeah, you might be frustrated with some things, but you're also alive. You woke up today,
Yeah, dude.
and you're being blessed with another day. Maybe it is your last day. Who knows? Who knows?
Exactly.
But you still have things to be thankful for, things to express gratitude for.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that is that, especially for those of us that live in America, which is a good portion of our audience, pretty much I think it was 95+% of our audience, I believe, is from
Yeah,
America.
something like that. We do have
Yeah.
like freaking almost 20 countries,
Which is
that
awesome.
we've
Yeah.
at least had listens
Yeah,
from.
shout out you guys.
Yeah,
Like,
which is
that's
insane.
amazing.
Yeah, Chile, Ireland. I mean, some
Yeah.
crazy countries.
Was Venezuela on there too? I think?
Yeah, I think it is.
that's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, they probably hate socialism. So we should listen.
We're
to those
a good
guys.
podcast for it. Yeah, 100%. But Wurtz is absolutely right, guys. It's those, especially that live in the United States of America. We still have freedoms in this country now. As we've talked about, they're being dwindled in a lot of ways.
Right.
But in reality, when it comes down to it, we are still the beacon of freedom around the world.
Yeah.
Like countries
without
that
a
are
doubt.
fighting socialism, they call on America, or they fly American flags when they're doing that and whatnot. So especially here, when you have the freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, all these other different like rights that come along with being an American, that's a pretty beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially those of you that are listening, you might not be in that type of spot or whatnot. You're considering a lot of things, like man, like it's getting so bad here. It's tough to live in this country. The taxes are crazy, all that. Like Wurtz said, you are still alive. And
Exactly.
that was what was interesting, because part of this was even inspired by being at Matt Vincent's gym,
Yeah.
because his brand is called Not Dead Yet.
Exactly.
So if you're not dead yet, you still have something to give. You still have some
Exactly.
way to get after it.
You still have a purpose here.
Exactly.
biggest thing.
Yeah, and for that matter, Wurtz and I want you here,
Yeah,
because if you're
absolutely.
and especially if you're chiming in, like, obviously you guys want to be here. Obviously you want something greater, for that
Right.
matter. And there's no reason to go through life looking at the negatives all the time, and that is easier said than done
Mm-hmm.
all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt at all. I 100% agree with you guys that might be like questioning that, like, man, like, I'm in a really tough spot financially. Yeah.
Almost everyone is,
Yeah.
especially right now.
Yeah, almost everyone is. Probably
Yeah.
95+% of the country is, to a certain degree.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
probably.
They might be like looking at a paycheck and it's like, that wasn't as much as it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Or it's not going as far as it used to be.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, why were the groceries this much now, or
Right.
whatever it was? But the truth of the matter is, that's where that gratitude comes in, because if you keep that positive attitude, then we can end up turning around that type of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Then we can again, elect the right people. We can elect, or what do you call it, enact change in our communities.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think
know?
just all around being better citizens.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't even mean politically, but just living your life to the fullest, and becoming great at any number of things, or becoming great at whatever it is you do, becoming the best at it, and just living for more, wanting more, doing more,
Yeah.
giving more, therefore being more.
Oh,
You're welcome, Jeff Lecchio.
Yeah.
Right there.
You-
Right there.
you
I
know.
did not coin that term,
yeah,
guys.
just shout outs for Jeff.
Well, I
here,
mean,
you
yeah,
know?
for real. And I think too, I've been one in my life too, where I've been frustrated with things, in my life at different times, and that's never going to go away, for that matter. Nobody is ever going to be frustration free. That'd be great, but it's not realistic. So there's been times where I've felt frustration in different
Mhm.
things in my life, and as soon as I started every single day with expressing gratitude, and again, I said this just a couple episodes ago, but every morning, if I'm driving to the gym, I don't start a podcast, I don't turn on any music, nothing. I am driving quietly, and out loud, I am expressing the gratitude. I pretty much say the same thing every single day, but I make a point of it. Or if I'm, rucking on a particular morning or something like that, while I'm walking, which honestly, I love this part. I might have headphones in, sometimes I don't, but before I turn on any music, any podcast, whatever, I am out loud. Again, I'm walking down the sidewalk, so I probably look a little crazy, look like I'm talking to myself.
Well, you are nuts. So
Well, obviously, psychopath,
Yeah.
confirmed. But but I'm expressing that gratitude out loud. And guys, like, if you don't do anything like this, I urge you to try it literally just once, and do it seriously too. Don't just do it because Wurtz said so, and don't just say it just to say it. But say what you are thankful for, express that gratitude for whatever it is, and mean it. Mean it. It's kind of like praying. Praying's always been a pretty difficult thing for me. I always make a point to do it. I do it every night. But it's always been a difficult thing.
It's kind of a battle in a way, yeah.
Yeah, just because honestly, there's probably the majority of nights where I'm just kind of saying the things.
Yeah.
But is it productive? Is it
Yeah.
a conversation?
Do I want to be here talking to God right now?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Or am I just trying to get to bed? You know what I
Sure.
mean? And so there are times where I have to make a very dedicated point of making sure I'm being serious about what I am saying, about what I'm praying for, what I'm asking for. Is it forgiveness? Is it, guidance? Something like that. I got to mean it. Because otherwise I'm just saying words and nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change, and obviously there's action that has to come with that on my end. But if I take care of my end, God's going to take care of his,
Yeah.
And so at least back to the gratitude here. When you say the things and you mean it, you're going to kind of be opened up to the good in your life, and you don't have to be in a negative headspace to do this, guys. As a matter of fact, everyone should be doing this. Good headspace, bad headspace, it doesn't really matter. It's going to help regardless.
Yeah.
But if you're in a negative headspace, if you're in a bad spot mentally, if you're having dark thoughts or, whatever, I'm not just like people say, oh, I've had dark thoughts. Oh, you're going to commit suicide, aren't you? Like, not what I'm talking about here
Yeah.
necessarily. But if you're in that negative headspace and you start to express the gratitude for those things, it's going to make you think of the good you have in your life. You know, and it's going to put you in a much better headspace.
Absolutely. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful segment from you there. And it's like, what's interesting, so like last 2 to 3 weeks have been really tough for me, as you know, kind of transitioning a lot of things right now. And honestly, you and I's heads have been both hardcore in the business because we got someone coming out soon.
Yeah.
We're working on right now.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and I think, sorry to cut you off.
no, you're good.
But we're also frustrated with ourselves because it's taken this long to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, continue.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt at all. And I felt in the frustration in our text to each other as well.
Oh, yeah.
Not like we're going at each other or something
No,
like that.
it's just like, hey, we got to do this.
Why aren't we hammering this certain point? Yeah, right. So what's interesting about that, the fact that the last 2 to 3 weeks especially I've been feeling that, is I have done exactly what you said and actually spoke it out loud. And it's a lot of the times what happens is it works really well when I'm doing like a field workout. I did one today.
Yeah.
I did that one that I had the reels coming out for on Instagram, TikTok, all that. So if you want to follow us there, also good. But I had this video where I basically talked about how it is really a blessing to be able to just exercise to any degree.
Oh, yeah.
If you have 2 legs, 2 arms, and you're still breathing, that's a pretty big deal.
Even that's not even if you don't have those things. Derek White has 1 freaking leg and he's running, he's working out, he does CrossFit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another guy through First Form. His name's Nick something. I forgot his last name, but I'm pretty sure he literally has half of his right arm. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah. And he might not be with First Form, he might be with somebody else, but he's on social media. And this dude works out, like gets after it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, even if you're in that situation,
There's
it's like,
ways.
okay, there's ways. But
dude, I'm tired today.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the issue comes in, because the negative headspace is a very selfish headspace to be in.
It is.
Because it's a very bitchy headspace to be in too.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
You're whining about something that is very changeable for you, and it might just take a little bit of work, like our stuff.
Exactly.
Like it's just going to take years of work and whatnot.
Exactly.
But so what?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We've been given an opportunity to do this at 25 years old. We could have found this out at 45 and been married already and
had tons of other obligations.
Exactly.
You know, but here we are. We have the opportunity to not only speak to tons and tons of you guys through the podcast, through social media and all that, but we have the opportunity to sit down with guys like Jeff Lavecchio, Will Bates, Connor, Jordan Chat. I mean, all of the guests. I'm not leaving anyone out in particular. We also have someone very sick coming on for our next guest. I mean, you want to talk about big time, what we're about to have.
Yeah.
Like, we have these opportunities. Like, it is so cool. And it's like, that's the point.
Yeah.
Here you are, you're talking about, okay, we have some frustrations here with the business just because we've almost been lackadaisical with it. Realize the position we're in, realize we're trying to rush ourselves at times when guys that are way ahead of us in the game, like the Andy Frisellas, even the Jeff Lavecchios, Mark Anthony Joe, guys that we look up to is my point, who all say it's like, you guys are so far ahead of where I was, and you're only 25.
Yeah, and they got the shit kicked out of them for years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now we have the opportunity and the realization that we get to learn directly from some of those guys, you know? And it kind of helps me anyway, just be like, okay, we're good. Not like, let's take our foot off the pedal, but like the panicky type feeling doesn't have to be there.
There's a big difference.
Yes.
Because there's a big difference between us being hard on ourselves and us like freaking out and having a bunch of anxiety and panicking
Right,
over it.
because that's not going to do any good.
It never does me any good.
No.
Because that's what I was originally had in my head with that 2 to 3 weeks, is like I caught myself in this cycle of just beat myself down, and then damn near a whole day would be a loss.
Yeah.
But then one day where that basically happened, where like a whole day it was like, okay, I did some social media stuff and I tackled a couple tasks, but it just wasn't enough.
Sure.
The next day of that, like a week or two ago, the next day was just I murdered everything. Like just killed everything I did, and it's like, okay, so like that's just like a kick in the ass to myself too.
Right.
Like it's like I can do this stuff.
Right.
I can make it happen. And a lot of times what happens is just you get up and get moving in the morning, do something in the morning, and it's that simple.
Yeah.
And it leads you to the right place right off the bat.
100%, because that's challenge number one every single day, is to not stay in that warm bed under those covers.
Yeah. God.
Like, it's winter time now, dude.
Love
Like,
sleeping.
It's cold outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to get out in the cold.
Yeah, I don't, like it's 40 degrees. I don't want to be outside or whatever.
Right,
yeah, and it's gloomy.
Yes.
Yeah, you have every excuse.
Absolutely.
Every little excuse and whatnot. But
Right.
the truth of the matter is, it's not not realistic. That
No.
that next day, that's why I ended up programming our last day.
Yeah.
Of what we have coming up.
Exactly.
And programmed for our other clients that we still have going on right now too.
Right.
So I knocked out that. I knocked out the reel. I knocked out the TikTok. Everything.
Yeah.
Took care of everything that I needed to handle that day. Touched on a bunch of other stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, like this. I was just whining yesterday.
Yeah,
like
I can do
that's
this.
all it was.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, okay, life's hard,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
And what you're able to do now too, and like I know probably most of our audience, including myself, but most of our audience can relate to this, is you are able to learn from that day you got nothing done and be like, listen, if I stack those types of days, that's when I go down to the dark hole. That is when it spirals. That's when nothing productive comes out. I lose a week. Before I know it, I lose a month. Before I know it again, half a year is freaking gone, So what you're able to do there is like, okay, there's those days where I'm not feeling as productive. Oh, that's the basement.
Yeah.
10, you're in outer space. So your middle ground there is that like 5 to 8 range, where if every day you can hammer out 5 to 8 tasks that are actually useful, critical tasks, as Andy would call them, but like useful things, not, for me anyway, brushing my teeth wouldn't be a critical task. For some people it is, okay? Or making your bed. Maybe that's a little less gross. Because bro, brush your teeth.
Granted,
okay?
like
I'm looking at the camera. Brush your freaking teeth.
The brush the teeth thing could be like for those people, those like especially dudes who might have just moved out of their parents' house, went to college, or they just moved out from their parents after going to work.
Tell me you don't taste that though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Come on, bro.
Oh yeah. It's
yeah, exactly.
Just nasty shit in the mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. But so what you were saying, that really bad day or whatever that happened, and then when I almost had a bad day, I caught myself in the morning and still got 5 to 8 things done.
Exactly.
And then the next day I got 10 things.
8 things are going to move you forward.
Yeah. And the thing is, especially if, you're not your own business owner and whatnot, that just is only doing business, and you have a job and you have like the side thing that we have going on right now, then yes, you're going to have to add on a few more tasks and whatnot that come along with it, which also is pretty scary.
Yeah.
But you'll find that you can get 3 to 5 tasks done in like 2 hours.
Exactly.
At most sometimes.
Exactly.
We
we paint it as this big picture, and I kind of realize that we're going off a track here, but
it relates to gratitude. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You paint this picture in your head that I got to get these 5 things done. That's going to take 12 hours. It took 90 minutes. It took 2.5 hours.
Sure.
And at some point you just got to sit down and get to it. When I'm making our vlogs, like that takes anywhere from an hour and a half to literally 4 hours.
Yeah.
And I enjoy using Premiere and I enjoy doing the editing,
Sure.
but there's still times where I'm just like, oh man, these 3 hours, like I can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't do anything else. I have to just sit down in my chair at my desk and get to it.
Yeah, and it might be like you do one thing for 3 minutes and then you check your phone because you're like, I'm trying to distract myself.
Right.
I'm so tired of this.
Yes. Yeah.
Then
or
you have
like,
to catch yourself
I'll
in
go
that
outside
loop too.
and like throw the football around for 10 minutes
Exactly.
or something.
Yeah,
like,
and that's actually a really good reset
Yeah,
for that matter. Yeah.
But the best feeling in the world is after that 3 hours, you look at the final product and you're like, damn, like I'm actually pretty happy with that. Like, I'm pretty proud of that one.
Which is our vlog out right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's a good example of
almost every time I put the vlogs together, I either call you or text you. It's like, bro, like this looks sick.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy with this.
Dude, that was like what's it called?
So freaking watch them, people.
Watch them. But our last 2 especially, I've sent you like literally voice messages, and I'm like, bro, this looks like a professional vlog right now. Like this is so dirty.
Yeah. No, I really, really do enjoy that. I really enjoy it. And like my reels and stuff, like those take time as well. And I really enjoy doing that type of stuff. Like it doesn't bring me negative energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And again, that's you having gratitude about it too.
Exactly.
Because that's you catching yourself in a cycle of, okay, like I've spent 3 hours at my desk. Shit. Right. But then you catch yourself and you're like, okay, but this is also what I really enjoy doing. This is untapped is what gives me energy.
Right.
This is what gives me life to this stuff.
And the way this relates to gratitude, it's like, okay, these 3 hours, I'm able to do this because I have the opportunity to work with Gabel, and we have the opportunity to go to a cool place and film. We have the opportunity to film because we both have jobs to buy cameras. I have the opportunity to edit because I have a job that gives me money that I can buy a nice computer to then edit, which also allows me to buy editing software. So it's like it can go down the line. So you're sitting there like, damn, these 3 hours on this Sunday are gone. But it's like, if I go down the line, I'm like, wait a second. I'm actually extremely thankful to be in the position and have the opportunity to put this together to then give out information to you guys and bring entertainment to the world and on YouTube and all this stuff. So like you can trace it back is my point.
That's essentially what like Jeff's reverse engineering he talks about.
Yeah, I guess kind of.
For
Yeah,
gratitude, you're
right,
basically reverse engineered that.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what you should
It's
be
actually
doing.
a really interesting concept.
Dude, I know. I just caught that. I wasn't like I was
Yeah.
thinking about that. It was just like, it popped up.
Yeah.
But it's true because you're right. You went back down the line almost, so to speak.
Exactly.
And when you went back down the line, it then allowed you to recognize different blessings in your life and whatnot.
Exactly.
And again, especially those of you that listen, like we all exercise, we all work out. That alone is like a baseline blessing.
100%.
If you're able to take a walk, that is a massive
Yes.
blessing to be able to do.
Yes.
Like get out in nature, get out in the sun, get out in the air. That's
Right.
amazing to
Right.
do.
Like you
Like,
can
oh my gosh.
exactly. And not only just from like an able-bodied standpoint, but you can be thankful that your town has trails everywhere, you know?
Nice.
Or that
Yeah, it's good.
that your town has sidewalks to walk on, or that there's a park that has trails in the woods. Like, again, there's always something. There's always something that you can be thankful to have the opportunity to do, you know? And I think the biggest one is the people, too. The people in your life. You know, you might think, and you could be in a position where you don't have a ton of friends at the moment because maybe you're kind of in between cutting out groups, trying to add a new group or something like that. So, we get it from that standpoint. We've talked about that, where if people are bringing you negative energy, you got to cut them. You have to. You just have to. You don't have an option.
Yeah.
If you truly want to progress in your life, you can't have those people around you. Okay? But if you have people around you, and for us, it's like 3 to 5 max, like close people.
Yeah.
You know, like we have our guys in our men's group, and those guys are extremely important to us, you know, as we are to them, you know, but as far as like our very close circle, you know, it's not this massive group, you know, so, but we have, and we do evaluate these people, and it's like, man, they bring me a lot of positive energy. They bring me solutions to my problems. They offer advice. You know, they are willing to help. They are willing to be on our podcast, things like that, you know, and they're willing to spread our messages as well by wearing our apparel, exfit.bigcartel.com. Go check it out.
Plug.
It's a mouthful, but it's also on our Instagram.
Yeah, you can just go to the Instagram and click
Yes.
on it. Just do that. Or Facebook, or I think TikTok as well has it. Yeah.
Or text or DM us. We'll send you the link.
Exactly.
Anyway, but but they're willing to wear our stuff. They're willing to pay for our stuff. You know, people are willing to pay for our services as well with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we're about to like make it public. But just all of these things, I can confidently say anyway, and I know you're going to agree with this, but like I have fantastic people in my life. I really do. I don't have a lot of negative energy brought to me, and that's my family, that's my friends, you know, it's my brothers, which are you two, you know, like it I wouldn't want it any other way.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it's literally like
awesome.
family. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. Yeah, because like on the end of my family's awesome. You know, like
Right.
my actual blood's awesome.
Right.
But then it's like, yeah, like the 3 to 5 plus you and Mitch.
Exactly.
Dude, it could be you and Mitch, and I'd be like, okay, whatever, I'm chilling.
Yeah. Let's go to battle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's go to fucking war.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it wouldn't even bother me. And you know, you talking about negative energy. It's like I had the first like pop up of negative energy in like 4 months. Pop up like last weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it was this little small thing, and I just kind of laughed at it.
Right. Right.
And it was like whatever.
Yeah,
you
because
know,
you've put the work and time in, and you know how to handle those types of situations, you know, and they're always going to have some effect to some degree, but we know how to handle those a little bit better.
Yeah, and
You
it
know?
was like the first one about the business in a long time, and
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, okay,
Right.
like I'm 3.5 years in. What do you want me to do?
Exactly.
Like, change it up, switch? No,
Right.
absolutely not.
Exactly.
Yeah, let me just throw 3.5 years away real quick. That makes a
Yes.
ton of sense.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
3.5 years, you know, money and effort and stuff. It's like we can't get that stuff back. So
No, that doesn't mean stay in a bad situation. You've been doing for 3.5 years,
well,
like a
of
relationship.
course.
Of course. I think that should be pretty obvious.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Right.
I hope we don't have to nuance that, but you never know, dude. These days,
You never
like,
know.
yeah,
You never know. We have close-up cameras on us now. Who knows?
yeah, true. It puts a different type of pressure.
Messed us up twice.
Yeah.
I was 1 for 3 tonight on the intros.
And then Wurtz turned that negative energy around, and then we
And we're
balled on the podcast.
killing this.
Yeah, just murdered the podcast.
Episode 102 is getting murdered, baby.
Just crazy. Oh, you didn't listen Untapped? Okay, you missed out.
Yeah, right?
That's
Come
what
on
it
now.
is.
Come on now.
Yeah. But I really think gratitude is just such a key thing, because it's not something that's particularly difficult, because it's what you said. Just saying it, or
Right.
putting yourself in a situation to pray about it and whatnot, is that simple.
Yeah.
Because it can turn that around real quick.
Mm-hmm.
If you're having a shit morning, let's say it's 9 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Go get outside, go to the bathroom, whatever. If you're in an office, and say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill this day.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay.
Exactly.
You know, I'm here. I'm
Right.
making money. I'm doing whatever. I'm around family. Whatever thing you need to point out
Yes.
to change your day around, do it.
You might be unhappy with your job. Well, hey, you've got one, though.
You've got a job. How many people don't have one right now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's better than being unemployed or homeless.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's I think everyone needs to do this. Everyone. Like, this is something everyone should practice, and it's a skill. You're right. You just said it's not difficult. It's not hard. Okay? But at the same time, it's not easy, because you have to figure out one, and this is kind of like a tip to figure out things to be grateful for. It's like, okay, as far as people goes, who brings me negative energy? Who brings me positive energy? Okay, the positive energy, I'm grateful for those people. Like, they deserve to be in this expression of gratitude that I'm about to do, you know? And, okay, I'm unhappy at my job, but I have a job. I'm able to make money. Maybe I'm providing for myself. You know, if you're single, you don't have, family obligations or whatever. Or you have a family, you have a wife, you have kids, or a mixture of that or whatever. Okay, you have the opportunity to make money and provide for them. You can be thankful for that. You know, how'd you get to work? Did you drive to work? Okay, you're in a position to have a car that works. You know, even if you took the bus or whatever,
or if you biked to work.
Yeah, you had the opportunity to buy a bus pass, to buy a bike, to walk, whatever. If you have the opportunity to walk to work, that's awesome, because you're saving money then. You know what I mean?
Dude,
so, like,
absolutely,
there it
yeah.
is. Like, damn, I got to walk to work. Well, bro, you're not having to buy gas. What's your car insurance
the rest
bill?
of us are
it's zero.
the rest of us are getting bent on gas right now. So it's like, you're not having to do that.
Exactly. Yes. So my point is, guys, is like, everything in your life, again, like you just said, if you're in an actual negative situation in a relationship, or you have like an abusive boss or something at work, like, okay, obviously that doesn't count here. But everything in your life, like, you can figure out a way to express gratitude for that.
Yeah.
As unhappy as you might feel at the moment, as frustrated as you might feel in that moment, whatever, there's still something in there.
Yeah.
So I think just the biggest tip for figuring out what to be grateful for is just evaluating your life. What brings you positive energy? What brings you negative energy? Like, that's my simplest way of saying it.
And I think that's a great tip, and I think they should write that down.
Yes. For
one big thing to hit on that, and also two, I want you guys to use Wurtz's reverse engineering tip. I think that's phenomenal what he just said. Okay, start here, but I'm sitting down for 3 hours. Okay, but I have an editing software to do this.
Right.
But I have a camera that was able to film us this. But I have connections that were able to get us to this point.
Yeah.
I want you guys to take a situation that might be negative and then reverse engineer it and realize it's actually the gratitude in it.
Realize all of the things that had to lead up to that moment.
And write that out.
Yeah.
That should be your biggest takeaway from this.
Right.
Is take that and write that out.
You might end up with a list that's 20 things long.
It might be fat. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it could be,
Yeah.
So
no doubt.
Anyway, guys, that is going to be episode 102. Again, go check out our most recent vlog. I'm not just saying that because I spent the X amount of hours on it, but it's a really good one. Dope is a very dope gym. Yeah, I mean, you knew it.
But by the way, it stands for Division of Performance Enhancement, for those of you that are wondering,
Sick name.
which is disgusting.
Yes.
So that makes it way doper. That you know what I mean? Like that we can call that.
Is doper?
Doper?
A word? We never claimed to be
dopey
grammar specialists.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I've never claimed to be a language arts guy.
He's got a bunch of niche type equipment in there. It's all like neon lighting and stuff. And
vibes.
It's just very cool. At the beginning of the video, you get to basically see the entire gym. He's got cold plunges in there, like actual cold plunges.
Oh yeah.
Couple
Wurtz and I went to
saunas
work on those.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. Which we didn't put that in the video. I don't know why we didn't do that.
Not sure.
I thought about that as I'm sitting there putting together. I'm like, wow, we didn't put us in the sauna or in the cold plunges, but whatever.
I was definitely questioning myself on that. I was like, why did we not film that? But whatever.
I guess we're just going to have to go back.
Yeah. Oh shoot. We have to film another vlog at Dope. Shoot, dude.
Anyway, guys, go watch that vlog. It's on YouTube right now. Again, that came out Wednesday the 22nd. And then again, if you haven't listened to episode 100, we were in Jeff Lavecchio's brand new home gym in his basement. Just a great conversation. The aesthetics of the place looked awesome in the video. Go look at our clips on Instagram. Again, untapped.llp. And again, as we've kind of hinted at a couple times here, we really do have something very exciting here. Should be before the year ends. We should be making the public announcements about this.
It will be.
We're very, very excited. It's kind of going to be a finally moment for us. You know what I mean? So very excited about that, guys. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us personally on Instagram. And submit your Q&A questions. It's one last thing of business here. You can submit those a couple different ways. First, you can DM them to us on Instagram, whether that's us personally or to the Untapped account. You can leave them in the comments on Instagram. You can leave them on the comments on YouTube. You can also email them to extricationfitness@gmail.com. There is an email button in our bio on Instagram as well, so it makes it very easy. All of those questions we then just give to Mitch. We really do not look through them at all. We give them to Mitch. He will find one that either pertains to the topic of the episode or he'll just pick a random one out. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious, whatever. So submit those to us, guys. We love answering your questions and helping you guys out individually. I don't think, did I miss anything?
I was going to say one thing, too. We're now back on TikTok.
Yes.
Finally fought through some email stuff and whatever.
Brand new account.
Yeah, brand new account on that. So that will have some exclusive clips.
Definitely.
A little bit crazier clips we'll put on just TikTok and whatnot.
For sure.
There'll be some fun on there.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're pretty much on every social, essentially, because now
Twitter.
we're back on TikTok. Yeah, we're on Twitter. We're on YouTube, of course. I wanted to say that, too. Every video I notice that has more likes, we get more in the algorithm, we get more views.
Exactly.
So, again, which is why we
Funny
say,
how
guys,
that works.
Yeah, funny how that works, guys. If you enjoy our content, especially on YouTube, even if you don't watch us on YouTube, you just listen, go to YouTube, push the like button. You don't even have to watch the video. If it's really that tough to watch the video on YouTube, if we look that ugly on camera, fine. Just push the like button then.
You won't regret it, though.
Yeah, exactly.
You just won't.
Yeah, because it's just cool. Like
It
YouTube,
is.
YouTube is a cool thing.
Yeah.
But every video we've had has been more in the algorithm, and we've had more views on it every time we have more likes.
And subscribe.
Yes, and comment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a very simple thing to do, and it's free, and it does help us grow you that way. Like us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Anything we're doing is a tough. 'Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings, I'm a big fight.